I don't know if you know the Fortnite video game that's becoming this meta game, this everything kind of game situation. Disney put 1.5 billion into them. We mentioned them a little while ago before, but they're already testing their massive Disney update. So what this means now is all these Fortnite nerds who've been running around with all their skins and all the purchases they've done, all the Fortnite concerts they've been going to with Ariana Grande, Travis Scott, suddenly their connection to stuff like Star Wars is going to get a lot bigger. It's not going to be these little one-offs. It's going to be like, hey, there may be a Star Wars land that
Mm.
open up Fortnite and it's all your options. Boom, Star Wars land. There may be a whole thing that just does that. A Marvel land, or maybe there's some sort of connection between them that reminds people of the old Disney Infinite game that Disney fumbled the ball on. But this is big stuff. If you're moving into gaming and interactivity, smart move on Disney's part, business wise. Can they execute? Not so sure.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the notes here from the article you put out here. Yeah, Billie Eilish, I think she's joining for season 3. So yeah, they never been successful with game systems, right, or game stories. I saw this article too, Mr. Benja. I can't remember the name, but Microsoft was selling off a lot of their game studios. So just curious to see where Disney's think the game studio mechanics are going to go. So they have a lot of IP. Could
Yep.
they invest more into that with their IP into these games? That's going to be the interesting thing to see.
The interesting thing that's been happening with games is there's been less variety and more concentration in one or two games that can last you a decade. Game used to last 6 months and we'd all talk about it and have fun, and then we'd be talking about the next version that's gonna come out. Now
Mm,
with, like, GTA, it's taken over a decade to get to GTA 6, and in the
wow.
meantime, people have been actively playing GTA 5, so that's a better model
Mhm,
where it's if we can
mhm.
basically get them to replay the same game for all these years, let's do that instead. So that
Well,
makes
that's
sense.
what it's the IP game in the game system. Look up Fallout. We talked about Fallout. It's been around since the 90s, and we just had a TV show, and they're constantly putting new
Yeah,
updates out there that people can play until the next version of Fallout comes out.
yeah, and it's not and it's e on top of that, it's not even all of the IP itself, it's the I don't know what you call this, the interactive property rights, because you're so used to the way that Fortnite works or the way that GTA works or the way that certain game mechanics work. It's if I ask somebody who plays GTA all day to go play Fortnite, they're gonna be like, wait a minute, the controls work this way. I have to click here. Wait, what does this mean? I'm loading in. Why doesn't this work like GTA? It's a whole language that you have to train people on. And this is why Fortnite has been branching out like it does. That's why GTA has been branching out like it does, because why leave a game and have to start basically from 0 in another game? It's like a movie or a TV show or whatever. It's,
Yep,
okay, so I'll sit down and watch another series. That's not
yep.
difficult to do since I'm just watching, but playing?
Mm. Yeah, we should write down all the different game franchises there are out there, right? God of War, obviously Sonic, obviously Mario Bros. There's so many, but I guarantee that's probably accounting for what 90% of all the games that we're
It's
playing.
heavily
So it's like, where's the new stuff coming from, man? It's like these off indie brands, right? That maybe what sell maybe 10,000 copies and disappear. I don't know.
yeah, pretty much.
Very similar.
But yeah, Disney's also got issues with their streaming. We talked a little bit about the movies, and there's no big movie coming out except Deadpool and Wolverine from Disney. But Iger is actually announcing that he's stepping in the mix to come in there and mess up Feige's potato salad. Sprinkle some raisins in it or whatever he plans
No,
on doing
don't do that.
to
Don't
Feige's
do that.
potato salad.
Don't do that. That's
Uh,
gonna mess everything up, man. Look, man, this is my only take on this one is what is going on here. So we got Deadpool, Pool and Wolverine coming out. We have X-Men 97 hot property, at least in my household. And in in Dr. Jackson's household. I don't know in
Dr.
Mr. Bench's
Chris.
household. Dr. Chris. But yeah, man, it's a hot property. So X-Men are hot, man. So it's but are they still going forward all this other crap that they're talking about, like Armor Wars, Deadpool, Daredevil, excuse me, Captain America? We'll talk about that in a second. What Agnes Harkness, continuation of WandaVision, Blade, Fantastic Four, which I think they have to do, but the tea leaves are saying maybe it's time. Do you need to get some wins? Yes, Deadpool, Wolverine, high probability of a win, but the rumor is it's going to be the introduction of the X-Men in this. No, what does that mean? What's that next story? Should that next story be a continuation of Deadpool and Wolverine about X-Men? But it sounds like it's not. It's still going to be this hodgepodge of different things. And I don't know that's a good strategy for MCU, who is down and out right now. That's just my take on it. Now, the rumor is they're going to reduce the number of output, maybe down to 2 stories and 3 movies a year. That's still quite a bit, Mr. Benja. When I don't know if that's the right move. What are your thoughts?
You don't have to home run everyone. Don't foul out. Don't accidentally fling the bat and knock out the first baseman and get put on TMZ. You know what I mean? Just don't. Just make your simple. If you make the people are forgiving for a basic movie. It doesn't have to be great. It's hey, did you see this movie? No, I didn't see it. I heard it was pretty good though. I heard it was decent. If you can do that, I think you're fine. But if you start doing stuff like proclaiming, dude, the Marvels is going to be great and this and that, and then people are like, why is there a musical number in this? And why did you tell me that this was going to wait? Do you mean I have to go watch the Marvels TV show? We went over that, how it was almost set up to fail, even though it was
Oh, but look, Mr. Benja, a hot take, man. They trained us to be expecting everything to to relate and make sense.
mhm,
Everything. And so when you don't continue that and you're just canceling that,
yeah,
and now we were still gonna feel like we had to watch Harkness to see how it connects to the X-Men. And
exactly.
and so to that and that's to my point is then why even do these shows if they're gonna have some tangential look at Miss Marvel. They oh, we're X-Men now. Forget the Targaryen Mist and the Inhumans. It's like now oh, everything is related to X-Men. And this is the bed that they made. So,
Yeah,
yes, they're gonna create all these other shows, but it's like, what's we're gonna ask, how does it relate to X-Men? If you don't relate to X-Men,
exactly.
I'm not watching it.
So if so X-Men could come out and stand on its own, and just if they wanted to do that. If they wanted to just say X-Men comes out and stand on its own, they could have done that, but then they already threw the Marvels into that. They connected that in the end scene of the last one, so it's, now you can't do that anymore. If you just pulled a random character and said, "This is gonna exist by itself," there's a case that it could be, "Oh, a breath of fresh air coming out of Marvel." But they seem stuck in between, like you said, this rock and this hard place where it's gotta connect to something. Okay, if it connects, are we gonna go all the way? Not really. It's so now
But then that's dipping into the quality. Then now we're like, why didn't watch this in the first place? It's just like TV for
right,
TV's sake.
right.
So it's that was the exciting part of watching it. It was like, oh, this all could be connected. And they tried to do it, but just didn't work out. So I would just say scrap all this 2, 3. Just say, you know what? We're just gonna release stuff, maybe one movie, maybe one TV show a year, and it's gonna be good. And that's all you have to say. And then we get
Okay,
back to the quality
yeah, if you can do that, like, drop
or
down to
quantity,
one
excuse me.
movie and really at not even knock it out the park, but make a triple. Not even a
Yes.
double, make a triple or a double. Not have to do a home run, be like, "Okay, I wasn't mad. That was good."
Yeah. They have wait, and I know we want to talk, but I just want to reiterate this. They have to the momentum is dead right now. They have to get the momentum going again. And if they just released the X-Men, everybody's excited about it. And the next thing is Agnes Harkness and her covenant of witches. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
Do you think Fantastic Four is gonna heavily connect?
I don't know, Mr. Benja. That would they're the first family, first thing they put out there. Has Fantastic Four ever really resonated at a high level? That's the thing. And
Yeah.
so, and someone made a good point, and I'll let you go on this on another podcast. Shout out to the Midnight Boys at the Ringer. Pew pew. They had said that 2025 is going to be a big year. The classic superhero, Superman, will be released by DCU and Fantastic Four. If both of those fail, that's probably the death knell for superhero movies as we know it. So that's just a hot take.
Yeah, you gotta come correct with these last couple. As you mentioned, they have the ability to do all the options that we said with these remaining, well, at least Blade, Fantastic Four, and X-Men. They could go either way with any of the strategies that we've mentioned. I'm just wondering what they're gonna do. And I guess the last thing is they're already about to take another interesting step with Captain America, Black Falcon, Winter, ex-soldier on your left sidekick. Just the new Captain America movie title. I think that's one of their titles. Anyway,
Yeah, it is.
real quick news, they're releasing this with this character Sabra or Sabra. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. She's the controversial Israeli version of Captain America. When they started this story, I'm sure they didn't expect a war to start up with Israel and Hamas, but it's happened. And now people are wondering, wait a minute, this character that's supposed to be controversial is about to be part of this story, could ruin the entire film release. Really quick, any thoughts on that?
No, not really. I mean, I don't know if that's a smart move, but it sounds like this Captain America, Winter Soldier, Falcon on the left side. Sounds like this movie is done, so they can't change it now because of this conflict.
Hey, they've
But
got AI and in editing rooms. I don't know what they can do. Really quick, and here's what Newsweek said about Sabra. In her first appearance, Sabra attacks the Hulk, whom she believes is assisting an Arabic militant group. When a Palestinian boy is caught up in the battle between Sabra, the Hulk, and the terrorist and dies, the Hulk declares, "Boy died because boy's people and yours both want to own land. Boy dies because you wouldn't share." That's if you've got the Hulk saying that in a major movie or something like that, even hinting at that, you got problems. So I don't know.
I'm looking at the
That's
character design. She got the Star of David right there on the chest, man. So there's no, and on the forehead. So there's no denying what she's about.
yeah.
You could just made them probably tone that down a little bit and just say she's from Israel and that's it.
Man, it's touchy now because you're gonna get there are gonna be protests all in these theaters any way she comes across. I guarantee you. TMZ, where you at? That's all I gotta say.
No, you don't. You got something else to say, man. What you
No,
got on your rep
I'm
this year,
I'm
man?
I'm a
Come
I'm a
on.
I'm a hold off on that. I'm a hold off on this because I'm not in the right mood.
Gotcha. He ain't in the right mood.